Hello and welcome to Wait for Real,
A true crime and paranormal podcast. I'm Grace.
and I'm Katie.
And like my one piece of hair is like catching in the video.
Yeah.
So if you're watching right now on YouTube, I have like a blurry background on because I'm sitting at my desk and my house looks like a mess. But it's like my one little hair that's sticking up is still registering on this camera.
Yeah. That's
Sorry,
so
guys.
funny.
Alfalfa.
Cute. Yes.
Little alfalfa moment. Happy belated birthday, Katie.
Thank you so much.
What did you do for your birthday?
I built the Twilight Lego set and it
Oh,
was magical.
it was incredible.
I should have left it out so I could show you guys, but I didn't, so you don't get to see it.
Listen, she's also really bad at giving a tour of it.
You know what? It is really hard to do. Okay. I can't just take it apart.
She literally was like trying to show me, and I'm like, girl, she had to get a flashlight. It was a whole thing.
That's because it's dark in there. I can't control that.
No, you can't. There's someone walking by my house right now that looks exactly like your mom.
Maybe it is my mom.
It is not your mother, unless
Okay.
your mom got a dog, and we did not
She
know.
did not. No dog.
Okay, well,
That's weird.
I don't know. I just had a moment.
Mom?
Mom? The dog's like, wait a second. I just had to get a pipe or like I don't know, my water meter replaced in my yard.
Yeah.
So the water guy was here, and I FaceTimed Katie while he was here, and we were talking about it.
Mhm.
Now this dog just took a shit on it.
Oh my God, that water meter is going through it.
And the person didn't pick it up.
If there's ever a time to shit on it, it's at least when it's fixed.
I guess so. Thanks, dog.
Yeah.
Thanks, neighbor, for not picking up your dog shit. What the fuck?
I know. What the hell? A mom doppelganger?
We'll have to tell your mother to step it up.
I will talk to her.
Anyways. Yeah, so you had a good birthday?
I did.
I missed you. I wish I was hanging out with you.
I know, me too.
But I'm going to come visit soon. It's going to
Yes.
happen. And we're going to frolic, and no one's ready for that.
No. And we'll record in person, maybe even for you guys.
I
That's crazy.
got to make sure this fits in my suitcase.
What, your computer?
No, the mic and the headphones.
It definitely will.
You don't know what I'm packing?
That's true. That's true. I don't.
Exactly.
Lawless over there.
It is lawless. So last week, what did you cover? You covered the Mona Lisa, right?
Yep.
Okay. This week, everything I do is chaotic. So
Chaos prevails. Yeah.
I was in Washington, D.C. for work, and I am not going to disclose exactly what I do because I don't think I have at this point. Regardless, there was places I visited that are haunted as fuck.
Yes.
And people I work with were telling me some stories of other haunted areas near DC. And I was like, oh, I should cover this because why not? It sounds freaking bananas.
Hell
and
yeah.
we were talking about how I might have another work trip to DC in October. And I was like, if it's in October, I'm doing some spooky shit.
Hell yeah,
And
you are.
everybody else on the team is like, there's some skeptics, And I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, you guys work at a scary ass haunted place. So that's on you. But anyways, So we're going to cover a couple things today. One, we're going to cover, which might be a story we've already actually covered before, like season 1, right?
Yeah.
And it's called The Bunny Man.
Yeah.
Number 2 is going to be The Wood Booger.
Okay.
And number 3 is going to be the St. Elizabeth's Mental Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have too much information on all of them just because, I think most of it's just lore. But, here we are. We're here for it.
We love it.
Yes. So let's start off first with the Bunny Man.
Okay.
So this is a nice little novella about the Bunny Man, and I'm gonna give the source because this guy did all this work and I did not. So shout out to them. So essentially, the reason why I heard about the Bunny Man is because we were in a meeting and somebody said, "Oh, if you like haunted stuff, the park across the street from my house has a haunted outdoor experience for the Bunny Man." And I was like, okay, crazy lady. I don't know what that is. And she was like, no, this is this story that's evolved over the years. And now kids will dress up as him for Halloween. So it says, for more than 25 years, stories of the Bunny Man have been kept alive primarily amongst teenage population. So this sort of came about, the storyline is that a man is dressed as a bunny and he haunts the residential neighborhoods of our nation's capital. So, as silly as this may sound, the Bunny Man has been a fixture of local legend for more than 30 years. And by 1973, the so called Bunny Man had been reported in Maryland and in the District of Columbia. His infrequent and widespread appearances tend to occur in secluded locations and usually tell of a figure clad in a white bunny suit armed with an axe, threatening children or vandalizing property. By the 1980s, the Bunny Man has become an even more sinister figure, with several gruesome murders to his credit. Although he has been reported as far south as Culpeper, Virginia, his main haunt has been the area surrounding the railroad overpass near Fairfax Station, Virginia, frequented by partygoers, now the infamous Bunny Man Bridge, which I think you talked about a long time ago.
Yeah, it would have been during like an Urban Legends episode. I don't even know if it's still up, but it would have been during the first season.
Yeah, because it's like as soon as they said something about a bridge, I was like, oh, I feel like Katie talked about a bridge
We
one time.
definitely talked about it because isn't one of the theories that he escaped from
Yes.
an asylum? Okay.
Yes. Damn, your memory's insane.
It's just like it's just tucked away back there,
You
ready to
gotta
pop out
go.
at any
You
point.
gotta go on like Jeopardy or something.
No, because I'm horrible at trivia. It could be like something I like really love, like Twilight or like serial killers, and I would still like go blank when it's
Same.
time
They'd be
to
like, "Who's the
answer.
main character in Twilight?" You'd be like,
I'd be like, I actually don't know who plays Bella Swan. I'd be like, I forgot her name.
right?
So yeah, I'm like, I would definitely fold in the pressure that is Jeopardy.
You and me both.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about the origin of this.
Okay.
So there's a person named Brian Connolly who did extensive research on this and has published essentially like these findings or reports of the Bunny Man legend.
Hmm.
Um, and it says that he has located 2 incidents of a man in a rabbit costume threatening people with an axe. And these vandalism reports occurred 10 days apart in 1970 in Burke, Virginia.
Okay.
So the first incident was reported on the evening of October 19th, 1970, by U.S. Air Force Academy cadet Robert Bennett and his fiancée, who were visiting relatives on the Guinea Road in Burke. Around midnight, while returning home from a football game, they reportedly parked their car in a field on Guinea Road to, quote, visit an uncle who lived across the street from where they were parked. As they sat in front seat with the motor running, they noticed something moving outside the rear window. Moments later, the front passenger door window was smashed, and there was a white-clad figure standing near the broken window. Bennett turned the car around while the man screamed at both of them about trespassing, saying, "You're on private property, and I have your tag number." As they drove down the road, the couple discovered a hatchet on the car floor. So when the police requested a description of the man, Bennett insisted he was wearing a white suit with long bunny ears. However, Bennett's fiancée contested their assailant did not have bunny ears on his head, but was wearing a white I don't know this word at all. It's like a Christian. They're like it's called like a capriote.
Hmm.
Capriote. It's like the. It looks like a KKK outfit. It's really
Yeah,
messed up.
that's what I thought
Anyways,
you were saying. Okay, yeah.
but they both remembered seeing his face clearly, but in the darkness they couldn't really determine his race. The police returned the hatchet to Bennett after the examination. The second reported sighting occurred on the evening of October 29th, 1970, when construction security guard Paul Phillips approached a man standing on the porch of an unfinished home in Kings Park West on Guinea Road. Phillips said that the man was wearing a gray, black, and white bunny costume and was about 20 years old, 5'8", and weighed about 175 pounds. First of all, if somebody has to guess how much I weigh for a police report, don't.
Yeah, just
She
keep it
was
to yourself.
she
That's an
was made
inside
she
thought.
was a fairy.
Yeah.
She weighed nothing.
She was a fairy. You couldn't even see her when she turned sideways. That's how
Literally.
much she weighed.
So the man began chopping at the porch post with a long-handled axe, saying, "You're trespassing. If you come any closer, I'll chop off your head."
Whoa.
The Fairfax County Police opened investigations into both incidents, but both were eventually closed for lack of evidence. In the
Hmm.
weeks following the incidents, more than 50 people contacted the police claiming to have seen the Bunny Man. Several newspapers, including the Washington Post, reported the Bunny Man had eaten a man's runaway cat. The Post articles that mentioned the incidents were several. There was one called "Man in Bunny Suit Sought in Fairfax," "The Rabbit Reappears," "Bunny Man Strikes Again," "Bunny Man Seen," and "Bunny Reports Are Multiplying."
Oh my God, the last one.
In 1973, Patricia Johnson, a student at the University of Maryland, College Park, submitted a research paper that chronicled precisely 54 variations of the 2 incidents. Many maintain the basic plot that in some shape or form, but vary in details of location-specific events. A handful have even mentioned the Bunny Man committing murders, a detail at odds with 2 documented sightings. Conley cites that the evidence of how the original Bunny Man story had mutated through various retellings, and the story would have taken new heights during the early days of the internet. So it says that he further stated that most widely circulated version of the story was posted to the website Castle of Spirits in 1999. In it, Timothy J. Forbes claimed the Bunny Man was a convict named Douglas J. Griffin, who escaped to a railroad overpass while being transported to a new facility by bus in 1904. The story proceeds to chronicle a series of grisly, almost supernatural murders committed by a Bunny Man bridge, most occurring decades before officially documented sightings. According to Conley, all of the specifics given in the Forbes version are false. Not only did stated murders never happen, but key institutions mentioned, such as the Old Clifton Library, allegedly the source of the author's information, never really existed in the first place.
Damn.
So a little bit about this overpass. So it's called Colchester Overpass, and was built in 1906, well, around 1906, near the site of Sangster's Station, a Civil War-era railroad station on what was once the Orange and Alexandria Railroad. Because of its association with the legend, the overpass is a popular destination for paranormal enthusiasts and curiosity seekers. Interest increases around Halloween, and starting in 2003, the local authorities began controlling the area during that time. During Halloween of 2011, over 200 people, some as far away as Pennsylvania and Maryland state lines, were turned away during a 14-hour traffic checkpoint into that area. Isn't that crazy?
Damn. Yeah.
So, with that being said, let me see if I have my other note here for you. Basically, what they believe, at least the story that they believe, the person that told me this, they said, oh yeah, it was definitely somebody that escaped from like a prison van transport, was wearing a bunny suit, and then hid out at the overpass and essentially was like killing people as they went by. And so they made it into this thing where so many people are obsessed about it, which I love, like the lore behind it. So it's like a huge Halloween event for this town, which I'm all about.
That they dress up like bunnies?
So like kids will dress up as bunnies, but like they'll have like it's called like a haunted trail.
Yeah. Like a
Which
haunted
is like,
walking trail.
yeah, that's my worst nightmare, first of all.
Yeah, same.
Like,
Same.
absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, so they'll have like people go through and like wander around and scare them and stuff like that. But I thought that was cute.
That's very cool.
Yeah, cute little lore.
We love an urban legend.
Yes. So next, this one's pretty short, but this is the Wood Booger. So
Can't get over the name.
I can't believe, Katie, I can't believe that you and I did not know this name.
The Wood Booger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep saying burger in my, like, when I say it, like wood burger, but it's booger. Like picking your nose, booger.
Yes. Booger.
And so the Wood Booger, I'm like glitching as I'm trying to say it, is basically the Northeast's, I will say Virginia's form of Bigfoot.
Oh.
So the Wood Booger is a Bigfoot-like creature said to roam the forests of southwest Virginia. The name Wood Booger was given to the creature because it's often rumored to carry off young children like the boogeyman.
Okay.
The cryptid was featured in Animal Planet's TV show Finding Bigfoot episode, Virginia is for Bigfoot Lovers, which if those who are listening or watching don't know, Virginia's slogan is Virginia is for lovers. So I think that was clever.
That is clever.
And there they had seen particularly large amount of sightings outside of the town of Saltville, Virginia. So since this came about, the city of Norton, Virginia, which also somebody that I like had worked with in the past said that they lived in, has many attractions named after the Wood Booger. The city has also been named as a sanctuary for the Wood Booger.
Love that.
So since 2014, an annual Wood Booger festival is held where visitors can go on guided tours to search for the creature. A statue of the Wood Booger is located at Flat Rock Overlook. And the Wood Booger Bar and Grill is named after the creature, and many local businesses sell merchandise of the Wood Booger. In September, a geocaching event named Wood Booger Geo Trail is held at Flat Rock Recreation Area.
Cute.
So, and the statue is incredible. It's just this giant wooden statue of Bigfoot, but we're, Wood Booger. It's such a hard thing to say.
It is.
Like wood booger,
It's like
booger.
Marlboro for me.
Wait, oh, is that this like the cigarette brand?
Yeah. Remember when I
Marlboro.
couldn't say it and I made you say it every time during the gas station
Oh my god, I
story?
forgot about that. I completely forgot about that till right
Yeah.
now. That's actually hilarious. Thank you for that. I needed that.
Anytime.
So, anyways, we thought we were Bigfoot fans, but we're actually just posers because we did not know about the wood booger.
That's true. Now we are complete Bigfoot fans.
Oh yeah, and then I went on to tell people about how I went with
To
you
the
to the Bigfoot conference, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's where all of their opinions of me just completely declined.
Went downhill.
Oh yeah, everybody's like, you're a fucking loser, probably. But you know what? Here we are. I'm living my life and I'm happy.
We are having the best time, okay?
We are thriving.
Next,
Maybe?
we have to do Mothman.
So that's another thing I wanted to bring up to you. An individual who's like my boss's 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 boss, so a very high ranking individual of the company, is obsessed with Mothman.
Amazing.
They took their daughter and their wife to go see the Mothman statue.
That's amazing. They have the festival every year in
I
West
know.
Virginia.
He went, and I was like, "You're living my dream."
An icon, really.
He literally was telling me about it. He was like, "Yeah, he has this like metric, a very like military-esque mindset of like, can I fight this item?" So it's like,
just like a
can
man.
Yeah, that's very man. Like, can I fight this bear? Could I take this bear by myself? His thing is he thinks he could kick the Mothman's ass. And I'm like, respect. No, I think I could see it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. He made a very convincing argument the whole time I was there, so.
I don't know. We need to see Mothman first, and then we can make our
Yeah, I guess
opinion.
we gotta go. I guess we gotta go hang out with Mothman.
Darn.
Bum.
Raps.
Darn. Oh, shoot. Anyways. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is the St. Elizabeth's Hospital.
Okay.
So, St. Elizabeth Hospital is a psychiatric hospital in Southeast Washington, D.C., and it's operated by the District of Columbia's Department of Mental Health. The hospital opened in 1855 under the name Government Hospital for the Insane.
Oh, super.
And it was the first federally operated psychiatric hospital in the United States.
Yeah, that makes sense. The name gives it away.
Not haunted or anything, no.
No.
So,
never.
Housing over 8,000 patients at its peak in the 1950s,
Jesus.
the hospital had a fully functioning medical surgical unit, a school of nursing, accredited internships in psychiatric residences. Its campus was designated as a National Historic Landmark in 1990. So, since 2010, the hospital's functions have been limited to the portion of the East Campus operated by the District of Columbia's Department of Mental Health. The remainder of the East Campus, first of all, now I'm thinking about that, I'm like, I don't remember seeing that side. So some of it must still be active?
Or it's not there.
No, I think some of it's still active.
That's scary.
Anyways, we'll get there. We'll keep reading and find out what happens.
Okay, let's do it.
Because everything I have is firsthand account discussion. So anyways.
Yes.
So the remainder of the East Campus is slated for redevelopment by the District of Columbia. And so the West Campus was transferred to the United States Department of Homeland Security. Mm-hmm. And that's where its headquarters is, as well as the Coast Guard's headquarter building, where hundreds of Coast Guard personnel work in a building there. So correct. So the Coast Guard office, the Coast Guard office and the Department of Homeland Security office is primarily new buildings on the campus. So when you get there, you think, okay, like it's just an old, like fenced in area, like you go through security and then it's just like these brand new office buildings. Mm-hmm. But when you go up the hill, because everything's on a freaking hill there, behind all the new buildings is all the historic old hospital buildings.
Yeah.
So it says the campus grounds contain the St. Elizabeth's Hospital East and West cemeteries as well. Burials were performed on the West Campus beginning in 1856, and approximately 450 graves of Civil War veterans and an unknown number of civilians are buried on the West Campus. In 1873, the 3/4-acre West Campus burying ground was deemed full, and a new cemetery was opened on the East Campus. Approximately 2,050 military and 3,000 civilian interments occurred at the 9-acre cemetery on the East Campus over the next 120 years. Yeah. So it says that the hospital was under the control of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services until 1987. At that time, ownership of its East Campus was then transferred to D.C., which then became Homeland Security. So let's talk about the founding of this area and why it's such a prominent. Well, one, it's prominent because it's the first federally like appointed mental hospital in the U.S. But
Yeah.
so St. Elizabeth's Hospital was founded in August of 1852 by the U.S. Congress and was appropriated for $100,000 for the
Wow.
construction. And it was to provide care for indigent residents of District of Columbia and members of the U.S. Army and Navy with brain illnesses. In 1830, local residents, including Dr. Thomas Miller, a medical doctor and president of the Washington, D.C. Board of Health, had begun petitioning Congress for a facility to care for people with brain diseases in the city of Washington. So Dorothea Dix served as a pioneering advocate for people living with mental illnesses, and she helped convince legislators for the need for the hospital. And in 1852, she had wrote the legislation that established the hospital. So Dix, who was on friendly terms with the U.S. President Millard Fillmore, was asked to assist the Interior Secretary in getting the hospital started. Her recommendation resulted in the appointment of Dr. Charles H. Nichols as the hospital's first superintendent. After his appointment in the fall of 1852, Nichols and Dix began formulating a plan for the hospital's design and operation. And they basically wanted to find an appropriate location. They looked at different sites along DC and came to find this rural location that's nearby the city that they could build several buildings and make it almost look like a college campus. And it does
Right.
look like a college campus.
Okay.
So the building began in 1853, and it was constructed in 3 phases. So the west wing was built first, followed by the east wing, and finally the center portion of the building, which housed the administrative operations as well as the superintendent's residential quarters. All 3 sections of the hospital were under one roof in keeping with this design. So again, in the beginning, it was just one giant building. Then they had 2 other buildings. The West Lodge, which was for men, and the East Lodge for women, were built to house and care for, at the time, African-American patients, because at the time the city was very racially segregated.
Mm-hmm.
So soon after it opened for patients, it became known officially as the Government Hospital for the Insane. So during the Civil War, the West Lodge, originally built for the male African-American patients, was used as a general hospital by the U.S. Navy. The unfinished east wing of the main building was used for the U.S. Army as a general hospital for sick and wounded soldiers. The Army Hospital officially took the name of St. Elizabeth's Army Medical Hospital to differentiate from the psychiatric hospital in the west wing of the building. So the name St. Elizabeth's was derived from the colonial-era name for the tract of land on which the hospital was built.
Okay.
So after the Civil War and the closing of the Army's hospital, the St. Elizabeth's name was used unofficially and intermittently until 1916, where Congress passed legislation changing the name from the Government Hospital of the Insane to St. Elizabeth's Hospital, omitting the possessive apostrophe. Oh my gosh. And also, which was super interesting, is that in the late 19th century, the hospital temporarily housed animals that were brought back from expeditions for the Smithsonian Institution.
Random?
Yeah, and it was because there was no other federal facilities for them, including, like, the National Zoo hadn't existed yet.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So in the 1940s and 1950s, St. Elizabeth's was using electroshock in an effort to treat mental illness. In this period, it applied electroshock and other treatments in an attempt to convert homosexual individuals to heterosexuals.
Great.
In the mistaken belief that they were suffering mental illness. And it says that St. Elizabeth's is considered one of the most notorious institutions of repression of the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
So let me talk here about... Let me pull up the other stuff I had for this. So in the 1950s, large institutions such as St. Elizabeth's were being criticized for hindering the treatment of patients and for outright abuse of patients. 100% agree with that.
Yep.
And in 1963, the Community Mental Health Act led to the deinstitutionalization of this facility.
Mm-hmm.
But this hospital was still in rotation and is still in rotation for one section of it as a general hospital. And actually, one of my coworkers, his wife is a psychiatrist there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I wanted to pull up the cool side of the history. And I'm going to show you guys like I'll send you pictures too that we can put into the um
The
episode.
video. Yep.
Yeah, because it's crazy, like what it looked like before, what it looks like now. And then,
Mhm.
so if you walk onto the campus, I try to take pictures and you're not allowed. So sorry, guys, you're gonna have to get the pictures I stole from Google. But essentially, the buildings are like these beautiful brick buildings, and all of the windows are covered up with plywood. And then the
Mhm.
plywood is painted to match the brick.
Oh.
Then you also are going to have, um, it's sort of creepy when you look at it, but basically, the buildings had like outdoor space for patients,
Mhm.
but because they were considered like mentally unstable or insane, they had chain link fences that like covered up all of the open space. So
Yeah.
it was like looked like a cage.
Mhm.
So that was on all the buildings as well. And then in terms of like other things that was built there, like, I mean, they had a fire department, like a little firehouse building. They had a ton of they had like crematorium for, obviously cremations. They had, like I said, the two cemeteries. Like, it's definitely an eerie place. And it's weird
Yeah.
because it's now like a government entity building. Like,
That is weird.
so they took one of the main buildings, I don't remember which one exactly, and they repurposed it, and they like basically refurbished it completely and have people have offices in there, while
Mm-mm.
the rest of it is like condemned because it's also like an asbestos breeding ground, and
Yeah.
there's lead paint on everything. Like, it's super dangerous to go inside because it's so toxic.
Yeah.
So let's talk about notable residents. So well known,
Hauntings.
well, mm,
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 maybe.
mm. So
TBD.
well-known patients of St. Elizabeth's have
Oh.
included would-be presidential assassins Richard Lawrence, who
Okay.
attempted to kill Andrew
Mhm.
Jackson, John Hinckley Jr., who shot Ronald Reagan.
Mhm.
Hinckley was released in 2016, not that
Damn.
long ago, subject to a number of restrictions. The court lifted all restrictions in 2022. I did not know that.
Damn.
Charles J. Gatto, who assassinated President James Garfield, was also held there until he was executed. Other people, so notable residents from Civil Commitments, were Mary Fuller, a stage and silent film actress and early star, William Chester Minor, who made major contributions to the Oxford English Dictionary, while committed to an asylum in Great Britain, American poet Ezra Pound, a fascist collaborator during World War II, and Francis Weiser, a scientific illustrator, James Swan, a late 20th century serial killer in the Washington, D.C. area, and he had been a forensic patient since 1994. So it says, according to the reports by Kelly Patricia O'Mara, St. Elizabeth's is believed to have treated more than 125,000 patients.
Whoa.
The exact number is not known because of poor record keeping and the division of responsibilities among different agencies over the years. Additionally, thousands of patients appear to have been buried in unmarked graves across the campus.
Great.
So records for individuals buried in the graves have been lost. And it suggests that some bodies may have been cremated in the incinerator on site. So, like, I walked past the incinerator.
Mhm.
It's just a boarded up building.
That's so creepy.
Yeah. And I tried to walk on the grass and I got yelled at. So you're not supposed to do that either.
Okay.
Fun fact. So the General Services Administration, so GSA is who owns like almost all government properties in DC, well,
Mhm.
around the world, not the world, country.
Yes.
I'm like, blah, blah, blah. They usually maintain like national landmarks and things that are not
Yeah.
inhabited at the time, but
Mhm.
they own the property currently and they're using ground penetrating radar
Mhm.
to attempt to locate unmarked graves.
Yep.
I don't know how far they got on that, but more than 15,000 known autopsies were performed at St. Elizabeth's. A collection of over 1,400 brains were preserved in formaldehyde. 5,000 photographs of brains and 100,000 slides of brain tissue were maintained by the hospital until the collection was transferred to a museum in 1986.
Damn.
Um, in terms of like contributions to medicine, I'm not a fan of everything they did there, but it was the first place to use hydrotherapy, a Freudian psychoanalytic technique, dance therapy, and psychodrama, for instance. Those are okay. They also, Walter Freeman, who was a one-time laboratory director, was inspired by St. Elizabeth's to pioneer the transorbital lobotomy. So they did a shit ton of lobotomies there.
Mhm.
Yeah. They also, So during World War II, they and the CIA used this facility and staff at St. Elizabeth to test truth serums.
Oh, good God.
Yep. And I'm not even going to try to tell you what the medicines were that they used because the words
It's
are
okay.
so long. Um, they also had the first African American superintendent of St. Elizabeth's there who founded the mental health program for the deaf.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So, in terms of popular culture, the front of the hospital has been used in several movies. Um, and I'm not going to remember the names as soon as I just said that. I love that for me. Son of a bitch.
I'm
Anyways,
like, now I want to know.
yeah, right. So then I was looking at articles because, again, it is illegal to go inside these buildings.
Right.
And it's on a protected government like base, essentially, right? So for you to just walk through these buildings, I don't know how people haven't been shot for doing that.
Right.
To each their own. But I will say the photos I'm going to show you. So these are from Daily Mail, like had an
Okay.
article about it. And basically it says a photographer and urban explorer, Chris Hall, who was 17 from North Beach, Maryland, was able to go through and take pictures of stuff. Don't know how that worked. So the pictures offer a unique glimpse into the creepy psychiatric hospital that once housed, again, like the president's assassin and presidential killers, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
So the lead paint is like peeling off of all the walls. Everything is covered in mold. No shock
Yep.
there. They still have slides of people's brains there.
There?
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy.
It's like an abandoned hospital. So like they just left everything there, which is like creepy enough to think about.
Yeah.
They also, I'm trying to think if there's a picture of, let me see if there's a picture that I was thinking of. I don't know. The whole place is creepy as fuck, first of all. So when I walked around it, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, it's not haunted. You're like making things up." I'm like, "You don't understand." I was like, "This
No,
place
it's
gives
for
off the
sure
worst vibe."
haunted. It's
Because
for
mind
sure
you, like we're
haunted.
walking around and it's 90 degrees in DC,
Excuse
and
me.
it's like you would literally get close to buildings and you could like
Be cold.
feel the coldness coming from them. Because a lot of the places, like there's a lot of death that happened there that was probably scientific and then also not reported. And since the buildings have become abandoned, the government doesn't really know what to do with them because they're so dangerous with the lead and all that stuff. But you can't just like, they don't want to just destroy the building.
Right.
I don't even know
Yeah.
what the restoration project looks like on that, but there's literally tables inside, like operation tables still covered in blood, like dried blood.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I did see that. So that was cool. Oh, and another thing too I wanted to tell you about that place is that when nurses felt unsafe walking around the campus with patients being out and about, they built a tunnel system throughout the entire place. And the
Of course they
tunnels
did.
are still there.
Yeah.
Another place you're not supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I did one of these.
A little peek.
I did a little peekaboo. And supposedly there's like rumors, obviously, that there's things in the tunnels that people are hiding and they don't want to tell you about, yada, yada, yada. But it's one of those places where there's not a lot of stories that come out of it in terms of like hauntings, like people investigating because it's so protected.
Right. Yeah.
So like it's very rare that I even had the ability to go there and look at that. And I did ask, like, if I ever go back to DC for work, I want to go again and try to get approval to go see it because I think that
Yeah.
if I could have more time with it, because I only had like an hour to run around and look at everything.
Yeah.
And I was so focused on like not getting in trouble that half the time I wasn't really paying attention to everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the craziest thing to see. And I had no idea it existed.
That's insane.
What were you
That is
looking up? I can tell
insane.
you're looking something up.
Okay, so the movies that had it, or the most well-known ones, are A Few Good Men
That.
and The Alienist, which is a TV show that I really want to watch.
A Few Good Men,
Um,
that's the one.
yeah. That is insane.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you got to get in there. Actually, they probably won't let you because it really sounds like a health hazard.
Oh no, the whole thing is like,
It's like a
but the thing
biohazard.
is like I was walking around and one of the doors was pried open.
Yeah, people definitely probably try to get in there.
No, but you got to think it's behind like military gates.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's a not a I keep calling it like a base, but it's not a base, you
No,
know?
it's like a military, a federal campus. Let's call
Yes,
it
there we
that.
go. I'm like, words are hard.
Yeah, it's like, how do I
Um,
give this the right term?
yeah. And they said that in the like 10 years ago, the people that work there used to be able to like go on a tour and like do a walking tour outside, but I don't know if they're bringing that back. So,
Probably not. That'd be my guess.
they should though.
You should just start your own walking tour when you're there.
That's basically what I was trying to do with my coworkers when we were talking, and all of them are like, "Okay." Like no none of them got the vibe of let's get spooky.
You know what? Just let's get you back there.
I'm going to convert them.
Yes, convert them. Create your own walking tour. These are your tasks.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love it. So anyways, that was my past week, is learning all these spooky fun things.
That is fascinating. Personally, big fan of urban legends, so big fan of not
The
of the Bunny Man, but of the story behind the Bunny Man.
I know, and I love that like people still lean into it too.
Yeah.
I love it so much. But I also think that there's so much more to the St. Elizabeth's campus and the insane asylum that I need to learn.
There's also this reminded me of it when you're talking, this castle here called Casaloma, and it's where I did an escape room recently
You never told me about that. I
inside.
forgot.
Yeah, we'll discuss more details offline, but I can't divulge too much, or I don't want to.
You
But
did an
the
escape room in a castle.
yes, I did. And it has a tunnel system built underneath it. It's a fully restored building, but it's one of the most notoriously haunted places in the GTA. So I'll have to cover it, but when you're talking about the tunnels, there's
GTA?
another the
Greater
Greater Toronto area.
I think of GTA
And
the game, sorry.
yeah, sorry. And they have another escape room that is in the actual tunnel systems
First of all,
where it's like,
when I come up we should go.
no, we definitely can because it's
How
you would
far
love
away is
it.
it?
It's
From
well,
like can we take transit?
yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay.
There's also we'll talk more offline, but the point
Sorry.
is that it's like you're trying to thwart a spy's mission. That's what you're doing underground
Oh my
in the
god, that's
tunnels.
so
It's very
cool.
cool. Yeah.
I love that. Oh my god. Okay, that just got me so excited.
Yes.
We should
It'll be
do
fun.
our Halloween episodes are just going to be all us escape rooms.
Yes.
We actually just FaceTime each other in escape rooms from different countries.
I love that. That's perfect.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. So anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I love this type of stuff and I think Katie does too. So guess
I
what?
do.
Sit back, buckle up. We're going to keep covering this type of stuff every week.
Yes.
If you want to leave us a review, we have Apple Podcasts or we have Spotify. Spotify, you can leave us some stars. If you want to reach out to us and tell us stories, or you know about what we talked about today, or you know, like you've seen the wood booger, you let me know. To do that, you can reach out to us on our email, which is waitforrealpod@gmail.com. We also have our social media, which is at waitforrealpod, P-O-D. You can also try to find our personal accounts on there if you really want to try hard. What else? Obviously our YouTube. If you're not watching us on
Yes.
YouTube right now, go find us. It's Wait for Real Pod.
Mhm.
What else?
Like, follow, subscribe. If you want
Yeah, all
to
that. Yeah.
support us monetarily, you can do so at Buy Us a Coffee. Forgot what it was called. There's a link in the show notes or in the description of the YouTube video if you're watching. And I think that's
Yes.
it.
Awesome. All right. Well, then we will leave it as we always do.
Go to therapy.
And don't forget to leave the lights on.